Hi guys, my heart is beating like crazy because I'm about to do something that I'm really uncomfortable with. I had no intent on filming a video and I have no plan for this video. Please bear with me. I feel like God spoke something to me today, and if you watch this, thank you for taking the time. I don't feel like you have to share my faith to follow along with this because I think it's something that's a common thread for everybody, but that's the perspective it's going to come from just because that's the way it came to me. Um, so bear with me. So early this year, I attended Success School for Advocare in Texas, and in other places I've shared that while I was there, I was definitely struggling with knowing it was going to be a challenge for me and that I was going to have to grow and kind of get outside of my comfort zone. I was frustrated with kind of where I was and not being able to progress and what to do, and all of that was kind of stirring around in me. And so the last morning I was there, I had left the hotel and I had went down to just walk around the hotel and pray, to kind of just deal with what I was struggling with and kind of get my head in order. And there just came a point of having to say, I felt and still feel like I was led to where I was and to the people around me, and that I was just going to trust and just believe, and hold on to that. Hope for a bright future, believe, the best was coming, there was more to come, and I made that decision in that morning to just hold on and believe. And of course, when you come to those decisions, you're obviously hoping that good things are coming and that the best outcome is what you're going to experience, and that's how things are going to go. And so I guess naively, I did kind of hope that things were just immediately going to take off and be great and wonderful. As I've kind of gone through this year and have moved forward and had to, move through those challenges and move through the things of the year and grow and have things not necessarily turn out the way I had hoped for or wanted, and take things as they come. A lot of that has been challenged at times. There have been times where I wondered if I was doing the right thing or in the right place, for many things, and I don't even just mean Advocare or anything else. I just mean in general, because I wasn't putting my faith in a business or people. I was putting my faith in God, and trusting that this was all going somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere, because that's what I had said at the beginning of my journey, was that I just didn't want to be stagnant anymore. I wanted to be going somewhere. So I had to trust that somewhere was where I was going. And so there's been a lot of struggle with that. And this morning, I'm standing there and this thought hit me, and if you know what I mean, then I think you're going to know what I mean, as far as it was one of those thoughts that just, it rung. What is trust to you? Do you only trust when things turn out like you hoped they would? And in kind of a rapid way, I progressed through everything that I've experienced and felt, and led me to that feeling of knowing that I kind of had expectations of what that would look like, what trusting would look like in the long run. And the question posed to me of if I can still believe that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be, and that things are going exactly as they're supposed to. And I learned a lot throughout my whole journey in life, about expectations and love and trust. I think trust has been one of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with, I think that's common. I don't think I'm alone in that. I think that there are things in life that make it hard to trust, and we experience that. I know it's a challenge for a lot of people, and I think love and trust go hand in hand. It's really hard to love somebody that you can't trust, and really hard to trust somebody that you can't love. And so we kind of interweave those together with people. But I did learn a long time ago, in ways that I have to remind myself on a regular basis, that you can't put something on somebody of, if you love me, then you would. Because we're all just human, and we all make mistakes. And while there is definitely a definition of what love is and what love looks like, we're not always doing our best. And so people can love you and still dramatically hurt you. And that is part of life. And you can't condition what that means. But I think that gets harder when you're talking about something that's above people and not reliant on people, and you're expecting and hoping for good things, and you're wanting good outcomes, and it's just not turning out that way. So as that thought kind of progressed in me in a real rapid way, there was a further thought that kind of expanded on that it really only is trust if you're willing to put the outcome and relinquish the outcome into the hands of whatever you're trusting. And I thought back on things and how I definitely tend to think across my entire life, I don't just mean with this, that when I have trusted something, I have expected that the outcome would be what I expected the outcome to be. And when that doesn't happen, I get disappointed and I give up, and instead of sticking with it. And this time, I have managed to not require a certain outcome, to stay all in. And how much that has built me, and how much that has helped me to grow. Because my progress and my journey was not dependent on things going the way I wanted them to. Not even what I hoped that they would, but the way I wanted them to. Or an outcome that I needed. Instead, I was willing to just say, I put it in your hands. The outcome is yours to take care of. And I've done that by just holding on. At times that's all I was doing, was just holding on. I promise you that there's several days of this year that all I'm doing is holding on to the day, and getting through the hour. But that is how I've progressed, and that is how I've stayed with things. Was because at the beginning, early on, I made a decision to just believe and trust, not even knowing what that trust meant, because of course I thought that's all it took and everything would be great. Instead, I've had to relinquish control over what I thought that meant and where I thought that was going. And that's a process I'm still walking out. But this morning, that kind of opened up to me. And I wanted to share it, and I wanted to kind of record it, even just for my sake, to say that is real belief. That is really what trusting the process is about, is allowing it to be not what you expected, not what you hoped for. And do you still hold on? Are you still all in when it looks undeniably different than you had hoped for. So, just some thoughts for me this morning. Trusting is not about getting the outcome that you want. It's about getting the outcome that you need. It's about belief in something bigger than you, and that this is going someplace, that there's more ahead, and it's not on a time frame, and it's certainly not on your time frame. So I just want to encourage you to trust the process, trust your journey, and hold on even when it doesn't look like what you're expecting. The best is yet to come.